Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload, as you can tell by the title of the video, we will be discussing the potential for a storm system. Again, this is not about the hurricane that is occurring and will be occurring. I made a separate video about that, so if you want to check that out, you could go to my channel and look at that video. Today's video is going to be a video on this big storm that will be it has a lot to do with the hurricane, but it's a bit separate, and it'll be affecting much of the eastern United States and the northern United States with some heavy rain, lots of showers, some wind. So definitely a pretty large storm system is on its way, and it looks as if things are just going to get very, very active. Even just after this storm system, it looks like many others are on their way. So definitely a bit exciting, but if you guys would like to subscribe to this channel or like this video, that would be awesome. I do weather-related content. We are a weather fan on here. We have a lot of weather fans on here. I'm a hobbyist, I'm a weather enthusiast, if you will, and I just try doing, I just like talking to a camera and a microphone, so call me weird, but this is what I like to do. So let's get into this. Let's start off by looking at the global forecasting system. Recall I made a video about this large storm across the southeastern Canada, and people are telling me a couple days ago, they're asking me, oh, you're overhyping it, where's this big storm? And if you look at the National Weather Service map today, you could see, I'll actually pull it up, you see a ton of severe thunderstorm watches and warnings across the East Coast. Severe weather statements. New Jersey, New York is actually under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. So again, this storm, the system that's causing that is way across southeastern Canada, and again, these systems sometimes come out of nowhere, but you can see it's really going to push off the East Coast, bring a bit of cooler air into the Northeast, especially Maine and New Hampshire, Vermont, those northern states, and it's really going to intensify into a beast out in southeastern Canada. So let's just quickly talk about that. I know today's video isn't supposed to be about that, but I'm going to find southeastern Canada and show you the storm in 981 millibars of pressure. That is a pretty darn low millibar of pressure, and you can see that it definitely kind of self-destructs itself, if you will. Notice that at around 60 hours out, so by the time it's Friday, we're approaching the weekend, this storm is really just a remnant of what it was, and really it's gonna peak at probably Thursday, early Thursday into late Friday is going to peak as a storm, or late Wednesday through early Thursday, and then it passes through and gets out. But definitely going to be bringing a bit of chilly air across the Northeast with that, since it's such a powerful storm. Let's take a look at how much our total accumulated precipitation will fall. Again, the amounts look pretty high and they look pretty widespread. This is a fall-like system. It's going to have a huge, slugs of moisture to kind of work with. And notice it just drops plenty of rain, 60 to 70 to 80 millimeters of rain, which is how they measure rain in Canada, if you weren't familiar with that, or really anywhere else in the world. It's just the U.S. that measures in inches. So I just wanted to make that clear. Let's go back to the radar rain/frozen, and let's take a look at this upcoming big storm system that we were talking about in the title of this video. So notice that we have that system across southeastern Canada spinning away. We get a few little waves. You can see on Thursday we get this little clipper-like storm. Really disturbance. It kind of drops quite a bit of showers. Notice this is really by right here. This would probably affect several Canadian cities. I know there's large Canadian cities in this area, southeastern Canada, north of Lake Huron, and moving into upstate New York. Probably some severe weather with this, especially since the weather is so darn warm at around this time frame. So definitely I would be concerned about this. Definitely a little bit of a threat. Notice lots of showers, scattered rain, and again, the tropics are really fueling a lot of this activity. You can see we have a pretty strong hurricane coming on shore, forecast now to be a major hurricane, in case you did not know. It's all over the news. It's a major hurricane, most likely to become, not one yet, but it's most likely to become one. And notice that passes through. That's not even really part of the storm system. I mean, it is. It's really caused by it, but it's not going to be part of the main conglomerate, if you will. So notice that we look at this system right here, tracking across southern Canada. It moves from Alberta, Canada, And really, just once it kind of exits the mountains out of British Columbia and Alberta and moves into Manitoba and Saskatchewan and Manitoba, we get a nice low pressure right there, and this kind of does intensify. Notice this hurricane really weakens. Really, it's going to be the GFS doesn't keep it strong at all, but what it does is kind of brings up a lot of moisture for this system up here to use. And notice that there's just lots of precipitation across the map. I guess the low pressure is up here, if you will, but the GFS doesn't really combine these two things at all up until it reaches the northeast. Notice that the low pressure transfers its energy into this wave, which is brought by a bit by this system and a bit from the tropics. So definitely a unique storm for sure. A very unique and rare situation. We haven't seen this often at all. A hurricane caused a storm. And now notice some rain across Colorado and New Mexico. That is definitely going to be good news as they are in a drought, but unfortunately doesn't look to be large amounts, but they could take anything they will get. So notice this really does really combine into a large system across the northeast. We have showers still across Oklahoma, the Gulf Coast states, and lots of the northeast into Michigan and into southeastern Canada. And notice that this kind of tracks across the northeast, dropping lots of rain potential, some widespread thunderstorms for sure, and it continues to strengthen as it moves into southeastern Canada. And I want to include Canada into this since southeastern Canada is relatively populated. There are some large cities, and it's not shown on the main map that when I show the US. And you can see quite a bit of rain coming, especially across Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. There could be a pretty heavy rain potential, and it moves into into Newfoundland. You can see again quite a bit of rain, and that kind of adds on to the precipitation that already fell with that first system that's going to bomb out this weekend. Now this system, I should have gone over the timing a little bit better. This system is going to start occurring Friday, late Friday really, or early Friday, late Thursday, early Friday, and it's going to continue through the weekend, and by Sunday it should be moving out of the northeast. So relatively quick moving, but again, you get one or two of these these thunderstorms with this storm system, and you could be in for a little bit of trouble. So definitely something to keep an eye on for. Notice we get a little blast of cooler air. We get some cooler temperatures, and that's definitely good news as we're just sweltering in heat right now. But notice a bit of cooler temperatures, not really significant as some of the other cool downs we may be looking at in the future, which I'll show you right now. Let's go back to the MSLP, and as soon as that system passes through, you may be hoping for a break. Unfortunately, we don't get one. We see another large storm, this one a bit further north across southern Canada, the northern province of Manitoba and Saskatchewan. And notice this one, although it's far to the north, it's strong, and it has a strong, powerful cold front and delivers quite a punch. And again, we get tropical moisture that combines with the moisture from the system, and we get kind of like another system that develops out of the energy of that cold front. Look at that, very widespread rain, heavy precipitation. This is occurring now midweek next week. So yes, it's far out, but unfortunately, or fortunately really, it's been pretty dry across these areas. The models have been consistent, so it looks as if this will most likely happen. To this exact extent, probably not, but definitely some form of storm and activity in terms of precip will be occurring around the September 1st time-ish. And then notice as we put this into time, it really does become a strong system, pushes lots of rain into the northeast. We do see a brief cool down, though the temperatures are definitely brought back up by another storm system. This one is interesting. It also is a powerful storm and also delivers a powerful cold front. And then more precipitation. I mean, it's just ridiculous amounts of precip could be coming, guys. You get the point. I'm like a broken record on this right now on this video. More precip, and then guess what? More precip. That's basically what the weather's going to be like. And notice that we see another slug of precipitation moving through, and we just see a lot of cold temperatures to the north. We see the 540 line, and we actually see quite a bit of snow breaking out across British Columbia and even western portions of Alberta. So that's definitely interesting. Another storm system rides through, bringing some cool air and some snow across southeastern Canada. And look at that, just very cold air right there. Really staying warm here, but it's going to be interesting because these contrasts are going to be sharp. So where this exactly lines up is going to be interesting, and not all models agree with this, but the GFS has been just extremely consistent. August, I said, was going to be warm, and that seemed to be the case. There was a few brief periods in August, early August. The first couple of days across the central United States were a bit cooler, but now again it's hot again, and it looks as much of September will be hot. But some models are bringing in this cool air pretty far to the south, so I would not be surprised if portions of the northern, western, and northern United States see the most cool weather across the fall, and that's why my fall outlook, if you recall, kind of had a lot of cool weather across these areas, not anywhere else, because I don't think the cool air will be making its way in. Each time when it looks as if it's coming, you can see it kind of gets pushed back, and it's going to be a sharp contrast between the very cool temperatures and the very warm temperatures. I mean, you can see the anomalies are both pushing on both sides into the 15 to 16 degrees above in Celsius. So that's definitely something that we'll have to keep an eye on for. And again, this is the GFS. It's just one model that's showing this. I guess this contrast setup, though the European is also definitely indicating that, and is completely not disagreeing with the GFS, which is always a good thing to look at. Let's look at the European surface precipitation and just see what we have to what it says about this upcoming storm, this upcoming weekend. Kind of like the combination of the hurricane and the low pressure. Again, it really intensifies the storm off southeastern Canada, so definitely be prepared for that. That could cause some wind and some rain. We see again that little weak disturbance, which I mentioned kind of isn't really separate. It kind of is separate from that original storm that we're talking about. And here is that storm that's going to conglomerate into this large mass of rain. And notice there's a low pressure, brings up a lot of precip. We have this tropics activity, the hurricane remnants, and this combines and really incorporates the hurricane, the storm, at this point probably a depression, into its cold front, and that delivers again quite a bit of precipitation across the northeast, but definitely still quite a bit of precipitation across the Midwest. And yeah, interesting. The European with the second storm later on in the week doesn't show as much strength as the GFS, though it definitely shows lots of rain and lots of precipitation. You just have to understand that GFS shows it at a very strong rate, while the European keeps it a little bit more toned down. The total accumulated precipitation, you can see, remains pretty high. Various areas, up to 4 to 5 inches of rain wouldn't be out of the question. And obviously there will be a few areas with less, and that's just kind of how the thunderstorms work during the summer and how the storms line up. Some go over a certain area, and several sometimes go over the same area, while a neighboring area may not even get anything. I forgot to show you the GFS total accumulated precipitation. I think the GFS definitely shows a bit more, and it will look like more since I'm going to show you through 384 hours, which is more than what the European goes out to. And there will be several areas approaching 6-7 inches in total. This will be gradual. This most likely won't come all at once, but again, if a storm or two may just bring your dose of all the precipitation you see on this map. And again, quite a few areas across northern and even the southern areas kind of seeing 6+ inches, though anywhere in the purple is above 2 inches, which is rather significant. Notice a bit of precipitation across the west, definitely a good sign, but it's really just still limited and more on the drier side, but at least it's not 100% dry. Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day outlook, August 31st through the 4th. Definitely mentions cooler air, and you can see that it definitely is buying into what the GFS is showing, and the European really. Lots of above average precipitation, that seems to be the trend. That's why I'm talking about the storm. Lots of storm systems, and they're pretty confident in that. 8 to 14 day outlook, let's take a look at that before we end this video. You can see September 2nd through the 8th. They, again, keep the mention of the cool weather, just a bit less confident and a little bit less of an area, and that makes sense. And in terms of precipitation, they keep it above across the eastern United States, but they definitely mention it being below across the west, which is not good news. But that's basically it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.